All right, we're going to check one message here. Good. Yes. Moderation would be great if I have any. All right. Hi, my name is Paul Gutrecht. I'm a licensed therapist in West LA, California, and I have a focus on anger, high conflict, couples work, family work, and managing angry behavior, because it's really not about the emotion as it is about what we do when we get angry. So a lot of these clips have to do with communication and improving communication in order to feel safe in our most important relationships. So today what I wanted to do was briefly discuss the 5 stages of a couple's relationship as outlined in this book by Susan M. Campbell. This is from the early 80s, and I think it's a pretty remarkable and rich book. It is exactly from, it's from actually copyright 1980 and then reprinted the 10th time in 1988. So that's a lot. All right. So the first phase or stage of a couple's relationship is a romance stage. Everything's exciting and new. We're impressing each other. We're on our best behavior. That's great. Where things get challenging, and where I usually meet most of my clients, is in the second phase or stage, known as the power struggle here in this book. And here people are, the shiny newness has worn off a little bit. Everybody's starting to, in some ways, feel safer to be themselves, but also that's leading to, schisms between who I thought I was with in this relationship and who is showing up and how I am showing up, right? And what the realities are, right? So we're less than perfect. We're realizing our flaws. We're also realizing, I'm going to need to start identifying what my boundaries are, what my needs are. I'm going to have to make all of that more clear, okay? So a lot of this shows up in the power struggle stage. People start to question, am I in the right relationship? Is this the right person for me? And what I have to say is, odds are pretty good if you're feeling strong feelings about someone and you've been at it for a while. This is probably a very good candidate for a long-term relationship, right? Doesn't mean it's going to be perfect, right? I can't predict the future. But a lot of people, the seeds of doubt come in and wonder and worry and so forth, right? So it's a challenge to get through this stage, to understand the romance stage was a wonderful stage, and there's ways to keep energy and love alive throughout a decades-long relationship. But it takes time, and it takes getting to know each other, and it takes to take a page from the Gottmans and understanding that your partner, with all of the things that you found attractive about them, they also come with differences, personal differences that aren't necessarily going to be perfectly resolved, but that you're going to have to balance and find a way to live with, right? So as you find those ways, you're finding your way into the remaining 3 phases of a couple's relationship, which Dr. Campbell refers to as stability, commitment, and co-creation. Right? So I just want to focus on that last word, co-creation. Okay. What you start to realize is, especially if you decide you're going to have children, or even if you're taking care of dogs or plants or a special project together, that you're going to have differences. You're going to have differences in rhythm, in timetables in which you accomplish and complete things. And those are not necessarily deal breakers. Okay, those are just differences. So the question then becomes, how do I, in a caring, warm, and loving way, understand what these differences are, maybe even grieve some of the things that I wish were a certain way that are not and probably won't, and radically accept some of those things, to pull a line from Buddhism, okay? In order to be together in a loving, caring partnership, where, to pull a line from a book called Attached, you two are your royalty, and one doesn't serve the other. You're there in loving, intimate partnership moving forward. Okay, so we'll talk more on these last three stages, but I just wanted to introduce them. So if you're having challenges in your relationship, odds are you're in the power struggle right now, and it is not the end of the relationship necessarily. It is worth investigating to figure out how to get back into the safety or the fun and the care and the love that you had in the romance phase as you are growing into a fully fledged relationship. All right. So I hope that's useful. I hope you have a great weekend, and we'll talk again soon. Thanks.